think I'm gonna challenge myself to make a video every day just like this, because I get into these like loops of like, obviously we want attention on our channels and we're told you should do that. But when you make videos, you don't want to, like, if you're anything like me, you don't want to get pigeonholed. Plus you're like, is what I have to say like something that is just, I don't want to just add noise to this bullshit. I mean, it is, if I'm competing with other people, at least if I'm competing with some AI bullshit, like, it's slop, so a formed or semi-formed thought from a person's probably better than that. But it does feel like disheartening when, you know, people are always like, oh, you gotta get on YouTube and you can make money and you can have people sign up to your you know, email lists and you can get blah blah blah. It's all about clients, or it's all about creating a series or whatever. Yeah, I love that. But I don't want to get pigeonholed, and then I feel like for a long time, and even after you do start making money, you're really bringing in eyes for YouTube to use their advertising on people, and I hate their advertising. You know what? I'm always like, what do I want to talk about? I just hate this looping of like emotional dysregulation. You don't ever get one of those days when you're like super hormonal, or like, I downloaded an app so that I could maybe do like reaction videos, because I don't know what to do. I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, and then that, and then I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do nothing, and I don't want to do anything. Because, you know, and you're just charged up because you're like, well, fuck this. It just feels forced, like we have to participate. Because if I don't, then how am I going to get my art and music seen? But if I'm on here, how am I going to finish my art and music? There seems to be only so much time in the day, but with whatever neurodivergent fuckery, time slips away so much. Like, you blink and it's like 3 years. So, like, I'm still at the point where I'm like, in my head, I'm like 16, like, oh, I should make a YouTube channel. I'm like turning 38. It's like, time goes by, time just keeps going. But it's like, is the reason why I feel so compelled to make this just to compete with other people because we're told this is what to do. It's the attention economy, because that can at some point turn into money, and we need money, even though we don't want to deal with the capitalistic shit. And that just makes me frustrated that it's like a prison this way or that way. I mean, I know people are like, well, you don't have to look at it that way, but there's parameters that we have to kind of work in society that I'm kind of done with. I'm sick of. I'm sure many other people are as well. And then I'm just like, frustrated too, because I was trying to rank up in Fortnite, and like, I thought, I'm really good. Until I go into ranked. And then I'm like, oh god, every fucking time. Stop killing me. Stop killing me. But then again, because I gotta be good enough. I'd like to compete in tournaments. You know, and the thing is, like, I have, like, old equipment, so I was thinking about, like, doing OBS, maybe streaming video games, or I can't find my capture card. This is, like, all the neurodivergent problems of, like, wanting to make content, being like, oh, I have all this fancy equipment I bought back during the pandemic, and I don't know where it is. Somewhere in a box, it's in the bedroom somewhere. But then I also need to buy a new HDMI cable. Lost my headphones to make to have a good mic on it. I don't know, they gotta be here somewhere. I mean, it's a small space. I live in a relatively small space. It's a shared space, so sometimes we'll move things, but I don't know. Oh, hell, I don't know what I did with that. And so my AirPods that, you know, you could record let's say for reaction videos, right? Because I downloaded this reaction video app and it started overheating immediately. I'm like, I don't have a mic for that, so I can't listen to the thing at the same time. Like, if I put in my AirPods, it's going to think that I want to talk into my AirPods. And if I plug in the microphone, I have two microphones and I don't have the adapter for this. So it's all just this, like, little tiny stupid things. Like, obviously I could take a day and go get the items that I need to make content. But then I feel like, I don't necessarily need those things, right? And so there comes a point when you're like, I should just pick up the phone and make a video. But then you're like, what's the point of that? Because maybe other people are going through this too. What do? Do I just make a video about what I'm thinking in the moment? Is that going to just derail what I should make this channel about? Overthinkers Anonymous. So it's probably a good idea to just record something like this without editing it. Just because this is probably relatable in some way. Like, I want to make videos about songwriting, about techniques that I think are cool, or about what songwriters have to say, what I have to say about how I like to write songs, or write songs in general, or, you know, video game content, that's cool, but that's very different. I don't want to mix together necessarily the songwriting and the video game content, and I'm not even sure I want to record my video game stuff because it's just what I do to chill out, you know? I like to, like, totally go listen to podcasts and video game. So is that something I even want to share with people? Like, I'd love to get into tournaments and, you know, win some tournaments, make some money on it and whatever. I still don't know that I want to record it, but I also don't know that I don't. It comes to a point when you're like, I have to do effort this way or this way, this way. And there's a part of, like, there's probably a voice of criticism in the back of my head, like, it's, to put that much time into recording something like video games, is that worth it? Is that worth your time when you should be making your music? It's not that it's, like, childish or whatever, because it's what I do. It's okay. I'm a woman in, you know, late 30s, plays video games. There are plenty of us out there. There are a lot of millennials who are doing things that perceived as too young for them. I don't think that's true. I think that's stupid. But there is a part of me that thinks it because I'm arguing with the voice in the back of my head. So, this is kind of what I do when I go on walks. That might be something that would be worthwhile putting up on YouTube. Just like podcast walks or just thoughts. Because, what I really wanted to say about this is it just feels like maybe it's my catastrophizing about not having, like, I have a lav mic that works with a phone 2 generations ago. And then I have another mic that I bought that works with the phone 1 generation ago. This phone doesn't work with either of those, but I need an adapter. But for some reason, when it comes to, like, oh, let's just go get that next thing, then that voice in the back of my head goes, you're really going to take the time to go do this thing? Do you know how many other things you've failed at? Do you know how many things you've dropped off on? Do you know you've been carrying around, like, those friendship bracelet, like, core, like, the, just threads to make jewelry, to make, you know, you got hemp things to wrap the gemstones that my boyfriend grinds. You know how many of them I did? None. I can show you one thing I started to try to get the idea. Like, this is what I mean. Okay, so I was using, see this sort of stuff. I was using this is just thread. As you can see, my nails are all bitten. Let's talk about, see a double chin. Talk about, look at what I did today. Look at that. It's crazy, right? That's awful. I can hear the voice of my deceased father in my head going, that's disgusting, don't do that. Get your fingers out of your mouth. Meanwhile, then he'd turn and do it himself. What you got your finger. The old Irish chastising. Now, this was a prototype I made one day, which is like, this is what I'm talking about. I carry a bunch of this kind of thread around, and I have hemp. I was thinking about making this is just like to see what it would be like if it was just like the bottom net, but trying to do that all the way around like they do, you know, I've seen Etsy shops and stuff do that, but learning how to do that so I can, and I was hanging, I think I have a ruby rose zoisite gemstone here. Yeah. So this ruby zoisite gemstone, I was using this as a, oh, what did I do with this? The cat took my, somewhere around here, the cat had what I was using for my, string. Well, anyway, I'll show you this thing. So, this zoisite stuff here, hold on. I kind of just put it in here. And it was like tight enough that I could, it's not really even, and that's why it didn't really stay very well. Maybe I'll turn it this way. All right, I think I'm ruining it now. If I edit out some of this. Maybe not. Maybe I won't edit anything, because fuck it. Because fuck it, I don't care. And you know what? If I actually put it into the editing software, who knows if this will ever see the light of day. Okay, so you see this. It was just to hold this zoisite, because like when I do like shaman journeying, you know, I like to wear different types of gemstones and like learn about what they represent and all that, and you know, see if I can embody some of that, the stuff that they say that it's supposed to bring you, whether or not it comes from that or because people told me that's what it's supposed to represent. Like, do I like that thing that it represents? Do I want to inhabit some of those qualities? And then you know, take that. The cat, hold on, the cat's in the closet she's not supposed to be in. Come on, get out of there. Psst, get out of there. This is Tulip. She is so active. Too much active for me. She wants to go outside on her harness, but today I'm not active enough for her, so she gets mad and tries to bite my toes. And her brother's super relaxed, and he's like a rag doll, but they're like actual blood. He's a blood brother, so like it's funny how they are like blood relative, but he's totally the opposite of her. What am I even looking for right now? I don't know, but here's a, this thing is a, rock from North Carolina. This is called a unikite. Well, I swear, I would turn this around to show you a better quality, but I'm afraid to even turn off this camera, because if I do, I swear it may not get done. Like, it may not change. I may not actually finish this video. I'm afraid to turn it off because it's actually, I've actually said some few items that make sense, and I can feel like I said something today to the world. I just got up, I think, to look for some lipstick because I just saw how washed out I looked. We've been having some issues with slugs. We're on the bottom floor. It's the Pacific Northwest. So sometimes they'll come in under the door there. And apparently they carry lungworm. So don't let your cats lick them. They'll freak out, but don't let your cats lick them. Because they might get kind of like all weird after a few weeks apparently and get lungworm. But the reason why I bring this up is because I have OCD tendencies and overactive brain. So I worry about that stuff. I'm not trying to make you worry about this stuff. I just, it's not something to be like, oh, it's fine. It's just a slug. I have to see right here. I have to pull the back boards off by the wall to put some silicone or some caulk, I guess some acrylic caulk filling in there to keep them from coming in. But then they're gonna be like in the wall, right? But it's not my house. I'm just doing what I can do, okay? Doing what I can do to keep my baby safe and myself. Aw, she's trying to rub her head into the... Go ahead. You can't see, but she's rubbing her head on the phone. Both sides. Aww. Alright, I feel better, baby. Thank you. Thank you. This is my son. He's so chill. Yes. You haven't eaten a lungworm today, have you? Because I don't want you to put your nose anywhere near my face. Just kidding. Lungworm is not like something you... I guess it is something you eat. It's like a parasite that is carried in the slime of the slugs, but when it dries, it kills... It dies. Okay. Let me get some lip balm or something. Anyway, so it just feels like there's nowhere to win, because being an artist, like being a musician, and at some point wanting to be able to advertise my band stuff, like, it feels like people say, like, don't give away there's two schools of thought. Don't give away the mystery of who you are, of your band, right? Don't let people know too much about you. But, wow, I really look white under this light. Looks like freaking... hey, you know what? Whatever. I'm obsessed with, like, trying not to look human right now because I'm used to TikTok filters. I remember when I stopped using them. I stopped using TikTok filters one day, and it was really hard for me to get there, because I remember saying, I had this video one time that was like, it's really difficult for me to not use filters. I just want to say that this is something I've struggled with. And I got this comment that was like, I don't even know where the filter is for, like, softening up your skin or whatever. I never use that. And I was like, good for you. And the girl, she just kept going on and on about it. And I was like, look. In my mind, I was like, it's not all the fuck about you, girl. I feel self-conscious about it. And I made this video to talk about it for people who feel self-conscious about it. And I made this, instead of, like, saying that, instead of making a video, I made a reply video that was like reading her comments. I was kind of bullying, and she just thinks I'm a bully from here on out. That's part of what kind of started some rifts in TikTok, because I wasn't straightforward and honest, right? Trying to be perceived in a certain way, right? But also being mad and resentful that this person did this, but not being completely straightforward. So I started seeing a counselor now, because, like, working through codependency stuff and being able to speak my mind is difficult for me sometimes. And so I might get mad or resentful. And so what happened, because she pissed me off, instead of saying, hey, I don't think you're understanding, like, you can stop talking about it, or make your own fucking video, like, get off my comments, or just whatever. But it obviously hit a sore spot, and I was not at a point where I could deal with that. Now I don't mind. I mean, we're all aging, we're all getting older, we all deal with whatever. Look, we got a pimple over here. What do you want? At least I'm alive. But I made a video that was just reading her comments like a bitch. And I was like, I don't even know where this is. Oh, I'm so much better. My skin is great. I don't even know where that feature is. I have no problems. You know, and so I don't even know if she saw the video, but she heard about it. And she might have seen it. One person saw it, and all of a sudden there was, oh my God, the blowback was bad. So she talked about it for years on her lives to other people about how there was this girl who was a bully and she fucking bullied me and she's blah, blah. And you know what? I did. I'm sorry. But I was too chicken to say what I thought or just be like, whatever. Like, she's proud. Maybe she's really proud that she's overcome that self-consciousness. But I just took it as somebody who's conceited or like, I'm better than you because I don't have that problem. Where I was still in a very vulnerable, raw state about it. And then shortly after that, I stopped using the filters because it just felt like uncomfortable, especially to look at myself after having used filters. Because then you're seeing yourself and thinking you're extra weird looking because you're used to like a softer face. And also, like, it just annoyed me that I couldn't see real people anymore. Like, everybody started looking like filters. It's nice to see people just looking like people sometimes. And talking like people sometimes. Being honest and stuff. So, I would probably change how I went about that. And I might not even say anything, but and make the video to say, like, I'm having this issue. But then again, I don't know. Whatever. I don't know what should be made into content and what shouldn't be made into content. Because, like, yeah, there's, like, so much shit online. So why add more, right? But because there's so much shit online, and a lot of it is just, like, how to make your first 10,000 with like landing pages, like, or how to use AI to blah, 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 blah. And we all get caught. I'm not saying anybody gets caught in those funnels, sales funnels. Whoever gets caught in those funnels of in those algorithms, there's nothing wrong with you. I've been there too. Of course, we're like, how can we survive as creatives who are trying to get our shit done creatively, but we want more income just to be able to afford to live the lifestyle of an artist. So how can we do that and make it easier? But then you're like, well, I don't want to really use this AI thing because they're blaming us for water stuff, but they're really lying, and they're probably just using all that water for surveillance, but they're going to keep gaslighting us into thinking that we're the problem, and I don't even want to deal with it. But then sometimes I talk to Claude, and then I feel guilty about it, and like, I don't know. There's a lot going on these days. And I feel like if I have something to say that's really a bunch of human thoughts, and people have thoughts like me, if you have thoughts like me, you might want to think about if you're neurodivergent. Because the reason why I get overwhelmed and think 10 steps ahead, have like obsessive like thoughts about like, I need to do this, and then kick myself. I mean, it's either CPTSD or, you know, all of it. Where like I want things in a routine, but I also want the novelty of new stuff, and I don't want to be cornered. And then I feel like I'm making myself a prison. I feel like just by making a video, I'm making myself a prison. But isn't it the opposite? Isn't it giving me the opportunity to see what works and what doesn't work? I guess. I don't know. What do you think about these new Fortnite sprites? I don't want to be down. Like, I don't want to like critique things on my channel necessarily. Like say things are bad, but I do want to give my opinion on things. I really liked the last season with all the sprites. And I had like maybe 15 sprites left to get, and maybe like 4 more to master of the ones that I had. And you can't use them now, and then you put them in the Sprite Garden. But at the moment, Sprite Garden thing is new, and I don't know, you can't really use your sprites anymore. They just kind of hang out in this location. It's like Minecraft or something. So I don't know how I feel about that. And I love Sonic. I'm not a huge fan of this new season, honestly. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I just started playing it, or because it's that other season was the first time I had ever played Fortnite, and so maybe it's like that was my first full season, and I got the battle pass, and then I earned the battle pass amount of money to buy the next battle pass, right, for the next season. I don't know if you know all this. You might be like, oh, this is so boring. But because it was my first full season, I think it holds a special place in my heart. But I also just liked it. I just thought it was really good, really fun to be able to utilize all the different sprites. They did have some glitches where like the water sprite for a while was doing what the earth sprite does because it was not working, so they gave it the abilities of the earth sprite. See, if you're talking like this, you're probably neurodivergent, okay? You get checked for the autism and the ADHD. Drink my Celsius now. I mean, what kind of a person on this or that spectrum am I without having my caffeinated energy beverage? I drink a lot less of it now, though. I'm less obsessed with it. What if you drink Celsius? I know it's not healthy. I go into obsessive things in obviously different drinks, you know. Spindrift has always been an obsession of mine, like lime Spindrift. Right now I have some lemon Spindrifts from a party I went to yesterday. There was a few left over and they offered me some Spindrift, so I have 2 of those, and I love Spindrift. But then I go into Celsius has become a special drink interest of mine, because I was letting it be the drug that got me through my last job, which was working in a deli. Very fast-paced, and it sucked. I hate working with food. I hate working in a deli. I hate having to constantly be on and forward-facing, as well as chopping salads and hurting my shoulders all day. Like, speaking Spanish when I literally didn't know much, but now, you know, now I can sing the beginning to the Spanish version of Gone by NSYNC. Right? Que palabras te puedo decir? Te que haga volver. I think. It's been a long time. Since I've had an official job. Look, I get paid, okay? Ain't nobody gotta ask how I got paid. No, I don't really get paid. But, I think I'm burnt out. I used to work jobs and not leave them until, like, at least 2 years. And then I'd be like, okay, I can consider leaving. And do you know why I feel like if I make one YouTube video, I'm going to get stuck in a prison? Because of thoughts like that. I used to not leave relationships. I used to give them at least a year, and it usually was 2. Jobs, at least a year, and it usually was 2. Because I just knew how hard it was for me to keep the thing. And now I'm like, because I locked myself in for that much time and forced myself to do things, I'm scared to do things because I need to learn to trust myself that I'm going to be able to get myself out of things if I need to. I think that's really what it comes down to. Wow, that was good. And I started seeing a counselor. And I told that to her too. I said, you know, I think I get myself stuck in stuff, whether like, you know, feeling obligated to be at a certain activity, to be in certain relationships, to be in certain locations, to be in a job, to be doing a certain type of like, because people are like, you gotta lock in. And I'm like, well, what if I don't know? What if I'm like literally, I've been afraid to try things because I know I get worried and I think 10 steps ahead. Maybe I should just like learn how to be in the moment and not think as much and just post it. Hence why I'm not editing this video. Okay, that's good. Bye.